So you're thinking about becoming a data scientist, but the whole path just seems, well, super complicated, right? It's this mix of programming, pretty heavy math, and business strategy. You're probably asking, where do I even start? Well, let's cut through all that noise. We're going to build a clear, actionable roadmap that'll take you from just being curious to being career ready. Think of this as your personal guide. We're going to start with the big picture, then dive deep into the engine that powers everything, and then we'll pull right back out to a step-by-step plan you can actually follow. This is your map, from right where you are now to your very first role in data science. Okay, first things first, what's the actual mission here? It's not just about crunching numbers, not at all. It's about taking raw, messy, complicated data and transforming it into clear, actionable insights that a business can use to move forward. It's a really fair question, because the title itself can feel a little abstract. What does a data scientist's day even look like? What kind of problems are they solving day in and day out? So they're basically the architects of a company's data strategy. One day, they might be building a model to predict which customers are about to cancel their subscription. The next, they could be optimizing an entire supply chain to save the company millions. They use AI for everything, from your Netflix recommendations to spotting credit card fraud in real time. Long story short, they're the ones finding the multi-million-dollar answers that are hiding in the data. Now, to do all that cool stuff, you have to rely on machine learning. And yeah, the tools we have today make it all seem kind of like magic, but it's really worth it to take a quick peek under the hood just to understand the core mechanics of how this all works. Okay, so what you're looking at here is pretty amazing. This simple little diagram, it's the fundamental unit of modern AI. It's an artificial neuron. All it does is take in some inputs, gives each one a certain weight or importance, adds them up, and then a little function decides if this neuron fires or not. Now just imagine billions of these, all layered together like a digital brain, firing in perfect sync. That's the real magic behind the powerful deep learning models we hear about every single day. So how do these models actually learn? Well, the core idea is a process called gradient descent. The best way to think about it is this. Imagine you're on a huge mountain, but you're in a thick fog, and your goal is to get to the very bottom. What would you do? You'd feel the slope under your feet and take a small step in the steepest downward direction, right? That's it. That's gradient descent. The model is just feeling for the direction that reduces its mistakes the most, and it takes a tiny step. It does this over and over, thousands of times, tweaking all those little weights and biases until its predictions are as accurate as they can possibly be. And to make that happen for millions of parameters at once, you need some serious mathematical firepower. As Parr and Howard put it so brilliantly, to calculate that steepest downward direction for everything all at once, you need the shotgun wedding of linear algebra and multivariate calculus. It sounds intimidating, I know, but that's the powerful engine that makes all of this work. Okay, deep breath. That was the heavy theory. Now let's translate all that theory into a practical, hands-on learning plan. We're zooming back out now to a roadmap that's actually designed to get you from zero to job ready. The whole journey can be broken down into 3 logical stages. It's pretty straightforward. First, you build a really solid foundation. Then you learn the applied, job-specific skills. And finally, and this part is absolutely critical, you prove you can do the work through practical experience. Your foundation starts right here. For programming, Python is king, no question. Specifically, you need to get good with libraries like pandas for messing with data and NumPy for numerical stuff. And please, do not sleep on SQL. It's how you get the data in the first place. On the theory side, probability and statistics are like your personal truth detector. They tell you if what your model is finding is real or if it's just a random fluke. So once that foundation is solid, you start building the applied skills on top of it. And this is where the fun really begins. You'll learn supervised learning to predict things, and unsupervised learning to discover hidden patterns in your data. You'll get into deep learning frameworks for more complex stuff, and, so important, data visualization. Because remember, an amazing insight is totally useless if you can't explain it to anybody. Now, to make this whole journey feel a lot less overwhelming, here's a sample 6-month roadmap. You'll start with the basics, build up to machine learning, but I really want you to pay close attention to month 5, the portfolio project. This is the secret sauce, and we're about to find out exactly why. Let me be crystal clear. Your portfolio is the single most important asset you will have in your job search, period. It's where you stop saying, I know how to do this, and you start proving, I have done this. It's your evidence. But listen, Not all projects are created equal. The kind of project you do for a class with a clean, perfect data set, that's fine for learning a technique. But a project that actually gets you an interview is a totally different beast. It tackles a real business problem. It uses messy, ugly, real-world data. And it focuses on creating a measurable impact. It shows you can deliver real value, not just that you know a formula. So you've got the skills. You've got the project to prove it. Now what? How do you package all of that up into a story that's so compelling it lands you that first job? Well, that's our final and maybe most crucial step. It all comes down to your narrative, your story, and the transition story framework is perfect for this. It's a really simple structure. You talk about your past experience, you create a bridge explaining why you're moving into data science, you describe your present skills and projects, and you finish with a clear ask for the job you want. This little framework turns your entire journey into a story that just makes sense. Feeling motivated? Good. Here are 4 things you can literally do today, right now. For the next 3 days, just write down what you do at your current job. I promise, you'll be surprised how many data-related tasks you're already doing. Then, scan a few job descriptions to see what skills are hot right now, and start a tracker. Every journey starts with that first step. And that brings us to the end of our map. You've got the practical steps, and you've got a peek at the theory. The tools we have now can hide a lot of the complexity. They really can. But true mastery, the kind that makes you invaluable, comes from really understanding what's happening under the hood. So the only question left is, how deep are you willing to go?